Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Malik Mbaye. I am a junior computer information systems major from Senegal, West Africa.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jordan Roper. I'm a senior accounting major from Chicago, Illinois.
And good afternoon. My name is Jordan Culpepper. I'm a junior international business major from Chicago, Illinois. And we are Team Howard.
So to get into it, we're here to disrupt men's grooming. But to do that, we had to look at what our customers' needs are, what problems they were facing, and what needs haven't been met, to therefore create a solution that actually addressed those needs and over-delivered on value added. From there, we wanted to do a feasibility analysis to make sure that our product was practical and scalable. And then once we had that down, we looked at distribution and financials. We wanted to make sure that we could create awareness, get our product to market, and actually capture value from consumers.
We wanted to meet a need that wasn't being met within the consumers of color market. We identified a gap within the survey that L'Oreal gave us, and we saw that there wasn't a need. We saw that there was an immense product offering, and it begged the question, what hasn't L'Oreal made? Men were experiencing issues with rosacea, oily and dry skin, as well as facial acne discoloration. So we wanted to create a product and a brand that directly addressed the needs of these consumers. Who are these consumers? Take a look.
I'm a classic man. You can be me when you look this clean. I'm a classic man. Calling on me like a young OG. I'm a classic man. Your knees get met by the street.
Embracing the modern man.
And all of us. And all of us.
And all of us.
Embracing the modern man in all of us, Noir. Noir is an innovative platform and line of products promoting diversity and inclusion by embracing the modern man in all of us. But what are the unique needs of the modern man? We did our research to find out. We utilized the same L'Oreal survey used to develop and design the men's expert line, but tailored it to understand and engage our target demographic. We received over 300 responses, and we're excited to release the results. Overall, our customers said that they are not satisfied with the traditional skincare needs that these mass market products offer. That's why 85% experience acne or acne scars, and 50% experience dry scalp and dry skin. They don't go for Nivea. They don't go for Dove for Men. They don't recognize Old Spice. That's why 83% expressed interest in a L'Oreal product to solve these problems directly. So what's the solution, Jordan?
Thanks, Jordan. Introducing our Noir 60-second steam-activated face mask. It combines efficiency with efficacy. The inherent natural ingredients in black soap are shea butter, cocoa powder, as well as a chemical compound called allantoin and plantain leaves. These help refortify, moisturize, and exfoliate the skin. Our shampoo and our body wash contain the same ingredients with a little twist: peppermint and tea tree oil. Peppermint helps open the pores to increase blood flow in your hair follicles, promoting healthy hair growth, and tea tree gets deep into the pores for an invigorating cleaning experience.
We know the product works well, but is it scalable? The answer is yes. Millennial men of color directly influence $200 billion worth of buying power and have an indirect influence of $500 billion. It's a lot of money. In addition, multicultural men spend 34% more than anyone else.
But the question is, can we compete? And the answer is, yes, we can. The reality is that this market is new, it's developing, but a lot of the competitors are largely small players, and they're not positioned to satisfy these unique consumer needs. And the result is that the prices are too high, the brand equity is too low, and the overall impact is limited. But L'Oreal is calmly positioned to capture value. Because of L'Oreal's global flotilla of 34 brands, it's uniquely positioned to service unique customer needs. Beyond that, L'Oreal is a world-class leader in cosmetics, which means you can get economies of scale, which lead to cost effectiveness and lower prices. And then from there, we have superior research and innovation, which means that we're confident that we can develop the best product possible and outcompete our rivals. But the digital question. Millennials do not care about advertising, as the other team mentioned, but we want to collect with millennials using influencer marketing, content marketing, and community engagement. The overall mission behind our social media campaigns is going to be educating and empowering our users. We do that through targeting women and men alike, because women actually influence purchase decisions in multicultural households, and L'Oreal already has a very strong brand loyalty with women of color. So for influencer marketing, we're looking to educate users by partnering with bloggers to do product reviews and a L'Oreal challenge to show the results of the product, because we know our product works and our product works well. Beyond that, we want influencers to show how they empower themselves by taking care of their skin. And as far as content marketing goes, it's all about education, talking about men's health tips through a L'Oreal blog, and also using platforms like Men's Health and Livestrong, which get millions of interactions regularly, to do guest writing promotion. But finally, the unique proposition of our digital strategy is community engagement. The reality is that if you want to build loyalty with consumers, you have to get in the community. And for millennials, much of their identity and their skincare issues are formed in adolescence. This can lead to insecurity, low self-confidence, bullying, and cyberbullying. So we tackle that by doing community-sponsored programs at local high schools where we teach youth to embrace themselves, to learn about their unique skin needs, and to project their best selves to the world. This will make Noir a household name and have a positive impact on the community. But the question is now, how do we distribute our product? Jordan?
Our distribution strategy has 3 phases. The first phase, in 3 to 5 months, is targeting the nation's top 10 HBCUs, which are historically black colleges and universities. Now, despite the name, HBCUs offer unfettered access to not only African American millennial men, but Central American, South American, Asian, and Middle Eastern men. We're using this as a soft launch into our product to gauge product traction and product interest. The second phase, in 6 to 8 months, is dealing more so with the US. We're talking about spreading to the top 5 states within the United States that have the highest concentration of millennial men of color with a growing buying power. They are California, Texas, Florida, Georgia, and New York. Last but not least, we are interested in our 12 to 24 month plan is expanding our operations overseas to countries that are also boasting high percentages of millennial men of color. These are countries like the United Kingdom, France, the Middle East, as well as Brazil, that has an absorbent amount of millennial men of color. But Jordan?
Yeah, what's up?
L'Oreal is a business.
What's the goal of business?
To make money. Can you tell them about their bottom line?
Absolutely. Noir is a worthwhile investment when you analyze the projected revenue and effectiveness of the product. We used US Census data to discover the number of multicultural millennial men in America, which is 14.4 million. We then applied a 5% market penetration rate, assuming the success. We look towards the men's expert line as inspiration, but we recognize that this is a growing product and a growing brand. We assume 4 repurchases a year at price points of $5 for the body wash and $6 for the shampoo and facial scrub to get a gross sale of $48.9 million by year 2. This represents a true opportunity that L'Oreal can capitalize on. But what else do we need to know?
What you need to know is that Noir is not just another product idea. It is the answer to L'Oreal's strategic growth initiatives over the next few years. We are living in the new world of beauty. So we asked ourselves, how can we prepare L'Oreal today to be dominant in 2050 and beyond? The answer is one word: universalization. As globalization increases rapidly, there is a need to service the unique problems that customers from diverse backgrounds are facing. And Noir does just that. But it's not just about globalization. It's not just about diversity and inclusion. It's about sustainable innovation. And that's why we made an effort to make sure that our active ingredients in our key products are 100% natural and 100% biodegradable. But we are here to disrupt men's grooming. And we think we can do that because of the success that L'Oreal has in multicultural skincare. We look to the Because We're All Worth It campaign that was a huge success in London, where you now cover 95% of all skin tones. We look to the fact that the South African Research Center just opened, and that was a huge success. We look to the brands like Carol's Daughter, like Dark and Lovely, and we believe that if we capitalize off of that, success is inevitable. So I want to leave you with one question. We're ready to embrace the modern man in all of us. Are you? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That was quite dynamic. Awesome, awesome. In the beginning, you stated that L'Oreal Paris has not connected to him, and this is the millennial man, person of color. When you went through this, and I see you had done some research, I'm curious as to whether you truly think L'Oreal Paris has an authentic voice with that specific community, not just millennial, but very specifically as you've presented.
I think that that's a great question, and that's why we introduced our product as Noir by L'Oreal Men's Expert, because L'Oreal is often perceived as a brand for women, and that's why we decided to rebrand it and call it Noir, which is a new line of products. And we think that since women actually do influence most of the purchasing decisions, and L'Oreal has significant market share, if my mom buys me a face wash, I'm going to use that for the rest of my life because I trust her. If my wife-to-be buys me a face wash or a body shampoo, I'm sure you can attest that you make a lot of those purchasing decisions and then there's no complaints. So we believe that if we can capitalize off the momentum that L'Oreal has and also rebrand as Noir, we can really capture that millennial man of color market. Anything to add, guys?
And in addition to that, when we talk about the education aspect of it, we're talking about educating the modern millennial man about the importance of their hygiene. And so we're using our digital strategy to educate the masses, starting at the high school age, on the importance of personal hygiene so that they can, in turn, purchase our product.
And the reality is that masculinity is changing. You know, the modern men of our father's time is not the same as today's modern man. I care about how I look. We're living in the age of social beauty where your personal image is a part of how you express yourself. So we know that multicultural men have a need for this product, but this need has not been tapped yet because the market is new, and a lot of the consumers in it don't have the assets that L'Oreal has to really succeed.
For your price point, where are you getting your price point from? Like, what's influencing that, and what's your thoughts on profitability?
So we looked at competitive pricing, such as Nivea. We looked at kind of Dove for Men. But we do recognize that this is a unique opportunity, but the scale that L'Oreal has can make it can make the cost lower and make it mass market. Brands such as Shea Moisture have price points of upwards of like $10 just for body wash, and we believe that we can create with scale, we can create lower costs and introduce it to as many people as possible.
And it's no secret that products take a very long time to develop and hit market and actually hit profitability. But if you look at what's happening in the marketplace, when we were doing our research, not only was it incredibly difficult to actually find products targeted towards these groups, but we found a lot of complaints about that. The products that exist for multicultural men are like upwards of $30 in some cases in the UK with brands like Vitaman. But we believe that since we have such large scale and such large research and innovation abilities, and we really have the ability to distribute the product effectively and create a lot of awareness with our marketing campaign and so forth, that we can actually undercut those prices and achieve market dominance relatively quickly.
And our main message is showing millennials of color that it doesn't cost that much to look good and feel good about yourself.
I think it was a great presentation in terms of the content and the delivery, so congratulations. Maybe just to highlight why I thought it was a great presentation, I think you were very, very sharp on who you're going after, why they should care, and at every step you were looking for edge, which I think is very important. You know, this is an incredibly dynamic market, very competitive, and you always have to be very, very clear on why you are the only one that can provide that service. One of the things that I loved about the idea was the way that you were going after community engagement and sort of scaling the launch, starting with a very grassroots initiative and then building to the states. So I felt that the consumer was really at the heart of your entire process. The question I have for you on this approach is, did you run the numbers? Because how are you going to afford to do this very grassroots approach, and how are you going to balance? I saw that you have a $50 By the way, for L'Oreal, if it's 48.9 million, it should be 50 million. Just, but, no, I think it's great because it's really credible. But at 50 million, we like big numbers here. So, how are you going to balance that sort of grassroots initiative with the scale? And what does the P&L look like as you're starting to build the business out? It's my first question. And linked to that is, what's the distribution strategy around this sort of grassroots approach?
So I can take the question about how we hope to do the grassroots approach and distribution strategy, and then you guys can chime in as well. So one thing that we realize is that using influencers gives us a direct access into the community, and influencers will be willing to do programs like this because it helps them broaden their brand. So it's a win-win situation.